You're right. I think people think that you're treating the strep throat to make the strep throat get better, but the strep throat gets better anyway. It's a self-limited illness. The reason you treat strep throat is to prevent rheumatic fever. Milton Markowitz, who really published, I think, the definitive monograph on rheumatic fever based on studies he did actually in suburban Baltimore. He was a pediatrician in the end in Baltimore before he became chairman of the Department of Pediatrics in Connecticut. But he had a huge clinic, and so he's published a definitive monograph. One note about Milton Markowitz. Milton Markowitz saved my life. This is a story most people don't know. I was asked to give one of the Milton Markowitz Memorial Lectures in Connecticut when I was younger, and he was my pediatrician. When I was 5 years old, he was my pediatrician. I had fallen off of a slide at nursery school and landed on my abdomen. As it turned out, I'd ruptured my spleen, and that he was out of town. My mother had taken me to the doctor because I was complaining of pain in my abdomen. And the doctor had said, he's just complaining for secondary gain. He's just trying to get your attention. It's okay. Take him home. But I was still complaining that night. And so Dr. Markowitz gets back from where he was out of town. He's looking through the notes. He sees that I had complained of pain. So he called my mother and said, how's he doing? And she said, he still has pain. So then he did something that obviously no pediatrician does today, drives to my house and examines me and says to my mother and father, I think he's ruptured his spleen. My father said, I want to get a second opinion. And Markowitz said, there's no time. So he puts me in his car. I remember this because what I remember about it was what a child would remember was that I got to ride in a car in my pajamas and my sister didn't. That was, for me, that's how I remember that event. So it drives me to the hospital. I get emergency surgery that night where they remove like a quart of blood from my abdomen and saved my life. I think if I had gone to sleep that night with him not coming over and insisting on taking me to the hospital, I think I die. I do. I think Milton Markowitz saved my life.